Hello and welcome to Tap the Table Productions' first ever audio review as part of the 2014 Flash Theatre Festival. We thought it would be a little bit different from writing review, so we thought we'd get together and get one recorded. Now, the first show that we've been to see today that's part of the audio review is The Show Must Go On. That is by Lost Fragments Theatre Company, and with the very intriguing tagline of "How can a murder take place on live TV without leaving a trace of the culprit?" Now, I'm Thomas Liversidge, and I'm here with
Wayne Ingram.
And we thought we'd talk a little bit about the sort of themes, subject matters, what we thought about it, and just a sort of general review of the play, really. Mm-hmm. Hello, Wayne. How are you?
I'm all right.
Now, first of all, I've got to say, very impressed with what we saw. There was a lot going on in the show, so we don't want to give too much away, really, about what happens in it, but we'll sort of give our opinions and see what happens. Now, we'll focus a little bit on the subject matter to begin with. Now, it sort of follows a detective inspector, really, a policeman, through the murder of someone live on TV in a sort of Big Brother style house, which is called Lock-In, yeah. And it's really about how a murder can take place on TV, as the little blurb said, and how no one can actually sort of find out who's...
Kind of the ethics of how reality TV can manipulate things, really.
Yeah, and...
for pure entertainment, the murder's used, really, to kind of... as an opportunity by the producers to boost ratings a little bit, which is, you know, the sort of thing that they'll do on reality TV anyway. It was a really, really interesting concept, really sort of something that I think it's relevant at the moment with the fact that the likes of X Factor and Britain's Got Talent and all that sort of stuff, and the fact that everybody knows these days, or most people know these days, that the fact that somebody auditioning for one of these talent shows goes through several stages with producers before they even get to the TV.
So there's like a sort of selection process, picking the relevant ones, if you will.
So it was a really good take on that.
And it did well to highlight both sides of the coin. You've got the fact that you've got sort of money-grabbing producers motivated by maybe things that aren't considered ethical, motivated by greed. But then on the other side, you've got fame-hungry people who may be willing to do anything to become part of that world, if you will.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting as well, the fact that the characters in the Lock-In, the inmates...
the inmates.
How they were social misfits, really, in many respects, because most reality TV shows will do that. Very rarely we have an average person anymore. Yeah. When Big Brother started and all that sort of stuff, it was very, very much average people. Yeah. And then they used social misfits to boost ratings and things like that. So that was interesting.
Yeah, which is a clear echo of reality, really. If you've seen when they put the guy that had Tourette's that was in Big Brother a few years ago, even the one most recently about the girl that they were saying to have an abortion that was going to go into a reality TV show. So, as we were saying not too long ago, most definitely up to date and reflecting what's happening right now. Now, another massive part of this show was the physical theatre aspect of it. Now, about 10 minutes in, when I was watching it, it felt like it was sort of distracting me a little bit, and I at points was sort of thinking, where does this go? Is this going to distract from the actual show? But by the end, it was wholly integral, and I wouldn't have wanted it to be without. It really helped echo what was being said verbally. It really helped echo the subject matters and the emotions that the characters were feeling. It really played on that. And then when there were the moments of physical theatre which also incorporated music, sort of choreographed movement pieces, really, there was a slowed down sort of altercation, a fight moment, which was one of my favourite moments in the show. But the physical theatre side of the show was wholly integral and very well done, and must have took a lot of effort to just not only choreograph but to remember and execute.
Yeah, I think you're right. It kind of, I think for most people it probably grained on the audience initially whilst they were setting up the conventions for the audience, because it was so unnaturalistic.
Yeah.
which sometimes physical theatre can be, but then there are other shows where it can be very subtle. So I think initially the audience went, whoa, this is a bit unusual, but as you say, as the show went on, it became more and more effective, and it was really, really, really well done, and the commitment to it, to all of the movement, was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was one of the most impressive things, because it is such an unnatural thing. While I mean, I've not done any piece where I've just been talking, as you might say, normally to another character, and then having to do all these extended movements. Even the slightest arm gesture or hand gesture was then accentuated to a much greater degree to sort of echo and to increase whatever emotion was needing to be said.
I thought that the characterizations were interesting as well. The probably fan favorite, audience favorite was Johnny, the cool one, played
by Marvin Freeman,
who also played the detective.
That's right. Oh yeah. We should say at this point there was multi-rolling. Every character, or every actor, I should say, played two characters: an inmate and then someone outside of the house.
Yeah, and it was on the whole very well done. The multi-rolling. There was never a point where it was unclear as to which character they were playing.
No, not at all.
Is very good when you're dealing with multi-rolling. It was very, very clear, and again, the conventions that they set up were very, very clear and very precise. Yeah,
and I just sort of echoing on that and going back a little bit to the physical theatre thing. I really like the fact that the physical theatre was inside the house and outside as well. That convention stayed all the way through. I mean, there wasn't one scene that probably didn't have anything in.
Yeah.
In terms of that.
Yeah.
But the multi-rolling was done very well, very quick changes, which we know at Tap the Table Productions is not easy to do.
No, we've tried that ourselves.
Having to remember what your next scene is, what your next character is, what shirt you need to wear. So it was very clear, and characterization between both the inmates and the characters outside.
Yeah.
Well executed.
And the use of comedy in the piece as well was very, very, very good. Nice wordplay at times, and some brilliant setups and misdirection for the audience, which made some of the moments brilliant, particularly the moment at the end with the editor being accused. That was superb. And yeah, just I think the way they dealt with the subject matter was really good. It wasn't forced down your throat. It allowed you to kind of take what you want from it. Just a really good show. Really enjoyed it. And
we were saying on the walk back from the theatre how with a lot of shows you do, as you say, get the subject matter thrown down your throat with maybe a load of statistics thrown at you, maybe a bit too much emphasis on what a show's trying to say, where sometimes it can lose the fact that you've got an audience to entertain, not just to inform or to try and change opinion or make an opinion. It did promote both sides of the subject matter, whilst also being entertaining and not feeling like I'm being put upon with with an opinion here.
Yeah, really good.
Now, another massive part of this show that we have to talk about, we've got written on the list of things here that we need to get through, is the tech side of it. Now, there's a big projection screen at the back, which was used very effectively during the show. There was some fantastic montages of sort of tweets that people were doing regarding the show. It was used as a really good way of breaking up scenes. It continued throughout the show, so it was a good use of a convention that was continued forward. There was fantastic use of music during the show. Again, someone else that we went to watch the show with, John Williams, who's done a few other reviews, one of his comments was that in some shows you go and see in theatre, it just feels like they're putting music in because it's something, songs that you like, but the cast of this really did pick songs that echoed the feeling and the emotion behind whatever scene it was in. They used the timing and the beats within songs as well to help punctuate some of the physical movement.
Gotta say as well, the videos that they used for the rest of the house, the timing, other than probably one moment, the timing was slightly off, and the cast member managed to turn it around very quick and get back into the into the speed of it, but otherwise the timing between the characters on the screen and on the stage was impeccable.
How did we forget that?
Perfect. Absolutely perfectly executed.
Yeah, because we should probably say that the projection at the back was used as an extension of the stage extremely well, because obviously with a show like this you can't be having big long set changes. It's too complicated, it takes too much time. So that was used very effectively. And yeah, the timing of walking off stage to then appearing on a projection was very good as well. And it's used for lots of different other scenes. Now, something I'm going to do now, which we did during our audio interviews, is ask Wayne.
Oh, I know that's
bit of revenge here. If he could sum up the show or what he felt about the show in either a word or a sentence. He's currently paining to think of anything.
No, because I don't think a word would do it justice.
No, well, I know what I'd say. I think fast-paced, exciting, I'd say multimedia as well. Entertaining.
This is just a list of words.
It is a list of words. It is. There's lots of commas. I'm taking use of commas. Entertaining and thought-provoking, but an exciting new piece is what I'd say.
Yeah.
And very relevant, modern.
Yeah, I would say...
Not really a sentence there.
A very relevant, Black Mirror-esque murder mystery with crazy physical stuff, which is excellently executed. That counts as a sentence, right?
Yeah, you can put that on your posters, Lost Fragments.
Yeah. just quote.
Quote, Wayne Ingram.